Okay, so we're through to the last 8. This is the second round or the quarterfinal, whichever one. So that means half of the original 16 entrants have been eliminated. I won against GamerDudeStar, DiplexHeated. My opponent won against Unicorn Attack. I'm not really sure who that is, but nonetheless he won against him and secured a place in the quarterfinal. So I'm bringing the same army that I brought the last time, I think, pretty sure. Maybe slightly different, although I doubt it, I think it's exactly the same. And DiplexHeated is bringing a very cavalry heavy army with a lot of infantry. There's almost no skirmishers in his army. So he has infantry, whereas I have skirmishers. So about my opponent, DiplexHeated, as you may know, plays mostly single player. I think he's like me. I think he was very similar to me in this tournament. No experience in tournaments, no real experience in competitive multiplayer in Total War. But he turned up and gave a good show, I think. We both were quite relaxed about the whole thing. I think he wanted to win just like me, so he gave it his best shot. And only one of us could go through. Yeah, I think I should say right now, I eventually make it through. I think you already know that, or you should from what I've said in previous videos. Yeah, I make it to the final, so I obviously end up winning this tie. So, Diplex is a single player guy like me, and yeah, he's the only single player guy that I played against. 3 of my 4 opponents were tournament players. And there was a lot of, I'm not sure how to describe it, there was a kind of stigma in the chat. Not so much stigma as a kind of scoffing at the single player guys, because we were not meant to do well in this tournament. I think I could probably find the exact point in the chat in case you're interested, because I want to be transparent and allow you in on what I was thinking for this tournament, the stuff going on. So I'm gonna find it. I am gonna find what I'm referring to. So right now I'm just setting up my army. Alright, so I'm gonna yeah, I found it. There's a guy in the chat that was doing a lot of trash talking, shit talking, point man, who I eventually ended up playing against, and he said, I really want Lionheart to make a video announcing his match versus me so I can see his fear. I shall absorb it and only get stronger. So he was kind of like shit talking, or I think in America you call it trash talking. And then I said, that's fighting talk, and then he said, no, it's facts, check our channels. Multiplayer me, single player him. And then someone says, don't underestimate single player guys, and I think he was spot on with that. So there was a kind of looking down at the single player guys. The single player guys were not meant to do well in this tournament at all. We're meant to go out quite early on, not put up much of a fight, and I think I kind of used that to my advantage. So the battle's about to start. I've arranged my troops in a similar formation to the last battle. I've got 2 main cavalry wings. The groups are locked, and I've set the abilities to auto-activate. That means that I can free up micro for other things like moving my units around, and I can concentrate on what's going on rather than having to click all these magic buttons, as they're called. And that's a secret to my strategies later on as well. Some of the best strategies that I employed in this tournament used both groups, locked groups, and auto-enabled abilities. So what I'm doing here is I'm being aggressive. I attack in pretty much every battle of this tournament. That was what I planned. So even when I'm a defender, designated defender, I still attack. So he's got a lot of gladiator spearmen. I knew that was bad. He's got some armoured legionnaires. That'll bulk out his numbers quite a bit, make him more resilient to my skirmishers. And he has a lot of cavalry. So I'm just moving up right now. I'm keeping that group of cavalry in reserve hidden. Although I'll move it up there to a dune of sand that is closer. Yeah, I'm trying to work an attack here. His formation seems reasonably strong, and I'm trying to think what I'm going to do. The obvious thing to do is to just surround and then wait for an opening to appear and then exploit it. What I like to do is I like to have my skirmishers in the middle without support nearby, so I can perhaps bait my opponent into an attack. If I'm up against an impetuous opponent, sometimes they will take that. Although it can also backfire if you're not paying attention. If they actually go for the attack and you're not ready to counter it, you can get screwed. So slingers have good range, so I can stand off here, do damage. Praetorian cavalry are moving out, and I thought I might have been caught off guard here. I thought I could have been caught off guard. And I'm quite frantically trying to get my cavalry to support, but it's all good. He pulled back. He could have maybe made it, but I don't think it would have been worth it. It would have been quite messy for him. So I'm just continuing with the plan, skirmishing, while my cavalry support. He's got a lot of gladiator spearmen. That was really bad. I noticed that right away. That is a problem. I'm going to have to skirmish them to death. So if he gets in a cavalry fight, I'm going to have to deal with his gladiator spearmen soon. They'll be on top of me. So I'd want to separate his cavalry from his infantry if I was to get into a cavalry fight. So I'm just trying to figure out what to do, and in the intervening time, I am just going to skirmish as much as possible, do as much damage as I can, because he has no skirmishers of his own. If he chases me, I can run away with my Balearics and then catch his cavalry out. I should say that for this video I'm going to show the first person view, and then I'm also going to show the stream. So as I said in a previous video, the first one I think, CosmicContrarian recorded the stream while I was playing these battles. This battle and all the other battles in the tournament from this point onwards that I participate in are streamed before thousands of viewers. And I should say thanks to all the people that turned up, because it wasn't easy to get it streamed. At first I thought I had a place, like I was trying to work it out with one of the organisers to stream our match, and Diplex of course is a really massive YouTuber. Also this match was being commentated by Prince of Macedon, who is the biggest Total War YouTuber. So I was playing against the second biggest Total War YouTuber, while the biggest Total War YouTuber was commentating over it. And I think he did a good job of commentating over it. And I think Diplex did a really good job of keeping his shit in this battle. I think he stayed cool on the whole. So he's forming up now, he's stretching his line out, and he can afford to do that. So this match was streamed before 2k viewers, and that was in large part due to how a lot of you guys were screaming Volound and Diplex when they were asking which match to stream. We kind of had to fight to have it streamed, or appeal to the audience. A vote, essentially, who could scream the loudest. And it ended up being streamed, so I'm going to show the stream after the battle finishes in the first person. Again, thanks to CosmicContrarian for making that happen. I couldn't record the stream and play the battle. And in addition to recording the stream, I should say the chat's there as well. That was a big part of why I wanted the stream recorded, because the chat would be recorded as well. So I've noticed that his cavalry separated from his gladiator spearmen, and I take the opportunity to attack, and I think I get away with it. I've got my elephants in there, I've got a lot of cavalry, I've outnumbered his cavalry, his spearmen are running over. I think I've got enough time though to make that work. My slingers are kind of exposed, so I'm pulling them back behind the small contingent of cavalry. The gladiator spearmen are charging in there. I'm thinking that I could at least get a flank charge or stop them. I don't want them to charge into my engaged cavalry, so I'm sending them up to support. Meanwhile, who charges me in the back, that was a really good move by him. I was sort of overwhelmed at this point, like I was trying to control everything. His infantry's advanced up the middle. That's going to put pressure on my skirmishers, and it's also going to threaten my cavalry. He can join in the fight with his infantry. So I'm kind of screwed at this point. I've got a lot of spare cavalry though, like them there, and I'm trying to just keep everything under control. I don't think I do a particularly good job of it, but I think I do enough. So one of my Societate Extraordinarii is wavering. The gladiator spearmen have joined in the fights. That really sucks for me. That unit of gladiator spearmen is wavering. So I use my excess cavalry, my surplus cavalry, to rear charge the spearmen that have charged into the rear of my engaged cavalry, so I kind of turn that around. And I've got a unit of extraordinary there. His general, as you can see, is running away. I think he knows he's going to lose that fight up there, so he wants to get his general far away. I'm trying to use that cavalry unit to free up my skirmishers down there. I've lost a lot. I've lost on the right, that's apparent. And I'm just trying to pull my cavalry out so I can reposition. So his cavalry's coming over. I don't think they do it though. I don't know why. He could have attacked my slingers here. I'm telling him to run away now. He could have just sent one unit of cavalry over there and they would have cleaned up my skirmishers, but he instead blobs all of them together. This is a problem when you bring a really unbalanced build. It sort of throws everything off. It's really 50-50. It's more down to the builds than what you do with them. When you bring a really unbalanced build, I've got no infantry at all. And I thought I could get away with it in this battle, and I nearly did. I've still got most of my army intact, although I'm now getting bogged down in fights, and he is defeating my army in detail, while his infantry chase out my skirmishers. They don't catch my skirmishers are alive until the very end. But by then, the gladiators have chewed through all of my cavalry. So I'm charging at the back of those armoured legionnaires. I don't think I do much damage though. And my army is sort of out of position. I've got some army engaged with all of his, while the rest of my army is coming over. His general's over there, isolated, and I spot that and I try and take him out. It's so easy to spot a Roman general. They're always in little 40-man units that you can easily destroy with one unit of cav. So a Roman general, a Roman player really needs to monitor his general, keep him in a good position. Very vulnerable. So I've caught the general, but he's bringing a unit of Praetorians out to rescue them. His infantry are forming into a line, and I don't think I do the job here actually. I'm just trying to keep his infantry away. My slingers get caught over there. I don't know if they've got skirmish mode enabled, but skirmish mode is really buggy in this game. So there's more gladiators there with cavalry. I noticed that and I pull out, but that's a bit too late. So instead I charge. I'm going to send my elephants into the spearmen, try and save my cavalry. My skirmishers are getting chased down by the armoured legionnaires. My legatus is over there. There's a unit of armoured legionnaires tying those two units down. So I'm doing more of the rear charging into the gladiators. That seems to work quite well. Gladiator spearmen are quite fragile, or so they seem. They've got a small number of men, low armour, and I think they have low mass. That's why cavalry charges can destroy them. So everything's going okay for me at this point. It seems like I've done enough. Although it is annoying me how the armoured legionnaires are chasing down all my skirmishers. I really wish I had more free cavalry and then I could rescue them. It's a worthwhile exchange though. A unit of armoured legionnaires for a unit of slingers. A unit of slingers costs 430, a unit of armoured legionnaires costs 710, so a 1-for-1. They basically cancel each other out when one unit's running and the other one's in pursuit, so it's worth it for me. But when all of my slingers are tied down like that, and the cavalry fight is going badly like it is now, that's bad. My units are all breaking. So I'm frantically deciding to throw my cavalry in there, but I don't know if I go through with it. I really want to start slinging into that big blob before he can get his order back, his cohesion. That unit of armoured legionnaires is really annoying me, I remember that. Yeah, whenever I notice I've got a unit idle, I get annoyed. Idle units piss me off. So as he's sending his armoured legionnaires back, I think he realises they're needed over here, and then I start firing into the back of them. So he's thrown everything into this mosh pit, and I've got 3 units in there, so that's pretty good for me, I think. All he has to do is send 1 unit of cavalry out and he can chase down all my skirmishers, but I don't think he does that. And that unit of armoured legionnaires down there. on the crest is advancing up as well. I think my general's died, or is about to die. And that was a good move down there. That 1 unit of armoured legionnaires is forcing those 4 units of slingers to move, to run away. And that kind of does it for me. Look at the balance of power, look how much it's in my favour right now. But because I've only got slingers, there's not much I can do. He can just send a unit after a unit and then eventually catch my units. He's got a unit of cavalry as well, he's got at least one, although it's wavering. I'm still thinking that I can win this here. I know it's going to be difficult and it's going to require a lot of mistakes, but I still think I can do it. So I send that unit of Bleriks in on the charge as a meat shield, but they get absolutely destroyed. I don't think they even kill anything. And now his armoured legionnaires start chasing down my units. I think a unit of Praetorians charged my slinger blob at the bottom left and then ran. I don't know, it might have been my unit. Yeah, it's pretty bad for me right now, it looks really bad. I toggle skirmish on for that unit at the bottom right. And the cavalry is charging into my 3 units. And those 2 are about to rout. One's getting chased down, so I can't even support. And I kind of know that I'm screwed at this point. I think I activated quick reload earlier, which tires all my units, so it's not even like I can run away. So I'm just going to see what I can do here, how much damage I can do. I've got 1 unit being chased down by the blob. I've got another unit being chased down to the right by 1 unit. Yep, cavalry have charged in, they've caught that unit. Praetorian cavalry are wavering. Yeah, I've got 3 units to manage right now. I'm sort of thinking about saying good game at this point, I think, but I'm still thinking that I can maybe do it. If I can get some amazing volleys off at those cavalry, and then, yep, I am exhausted. Yeah, if I can rout the cavalry, maybe I could skirmish and it wouldn't take too long. What I wanted to avoid was really annoying battles where it's just running away forever. So I really wanted to either win quickly here or lose. So I'm slinging at the cavalry. I used quick reloads because they're already exhausted. The Praetorian cavalry is wavering. That unit has decided to come back for some reason, so that unit's freed up. And the cavalry routes. I'm going to run over around the dune so I can maybe fire. I'm running away. Oh, they're wavering actually, that unit's wavering, and then they break. They finally shattered, took a long time. I thought they'd broken. So I'm running away, but they're so close and I'm exhausted, and I'm thinking that I can't actually skirmish to win this. And I didn't realise up there that he turned around. Yeah, I'm thinking at this point that I just don't have enough. I've got 2 units and they're both going to be pursued forever. So I'm thinking that I could stand, fire my last volleys, and then maybe it'll be enough. Yeah, I'm thinking right now, should I just good game it, or should I keep trying? If I keep trying and I fail, that'll just be annoying for everyone watching, so I don't really want to do that. I think at this point I decide that I should just loot. Yeah, here it is. It's when I see this happen that I think, fuck it, I'm just gonna charge into the melee, and that's it. I think I said lol because I was sort of uncomfortable with what was going on. It was kind of a stalemate situation where I've got to run away forever, and I really wanted to avoid that. I see that unit of Gladiator Spearmen's wavering, so I think if I can route that and then route another unit, then maybe I could chain route. But they're not even firing yet and they've almost been caught. So I know that in order to even get volleys off safely, I'm going to have to just keep running forever, and I think, fuck it, I'm going to just charge. Good game. I think Diplex did enough to win anyway. He kept his spearmen near his cavalry, and then when my cavalry tried to destroy his cavalry, they lost. They were defeated in the melee. I don't have any infantry, so I couldn't take out his spearmen properly. And he won the first match. So good game to Diplex. He took away a victory from our first match. In order to progress and not crash out now, I need to win both of our next matches because it is a best of 3, so I'm going to have to win the next match to put it 1-1, and then I'm going to have to win the third match to make it 2-1 and progress. So I'm now going to hand over to the stream as promised before moving on to the second battle. So if you want to stay for the stream, feel free, otherwise my next video should be along soon.
Right, guys, here we go.
Here we go. Map is Yathrib. It's one of my favorite maps. It's in the desert. Relatively flat.
You seem to have a preference for the flat map, but then again, you are playing Macedon, so that probably makes sense.
Indeed, indeed. The hill maps are fun, but they're not very balanced. So for a tournament like this is definitely a good map.
Do you know how long I spent looking at elephants while you were getting ready for your last game?
Who, me?
No, me. Last game, when you were playing against Indie Pride, we found as many elephants as we could on the map.
I saw them.
They were everywhere, and they had paint on them. So there's nothing.
Were they eating rocks?
There's nothing else for them to eat here, so I guess they were eating rocks.
That is a rocky diet, my friend. Yeah, some of the maps they have deer, and I guess the deer are pretty nice to look at too. So while you're waiting.
Would you like to introduce the two players we are watching today?
Oh, of course. We have two pretty big YouTube celebrities here. We have DiplexHeated from Sweden. He commands the Romans. And then we have Volound. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. He is also using the Romans. And both are very big YouTubers. I'm pretty excited to see what both armies look like. What are your thoughts?
As soon as I see both armies, then I can kind of gauge how it will probably go. But just looking at Vote Army right now, I mean, it's going to be... I don't know. I like it when I see this kind of play because you know it's going to be very engage heavy. They're going to have to get in there. There's probably not going to be that much feeling out, but then again, there is a significant amount of skirmishes. So maybe I don't know. This is the only bad thing about the spectator mode is you can't see both sides.
Indeed. Maybe they'll tweak that in the future for like a neutral.
I've already had a moan because there's a lovely feature in this game when you are playing is you can draw on the map, which is brilliant. It's like really good. So if you're playing with your teammate and you've got like 2v2 or 4v4 or whatever, you can draw on the map. And I don't have that function as a spectator. And I'd really like
Oh my gosh. That would be so fun to draw on here.
You could do draw your thing while playing Rome 2.
Oh my gosh. Me and Simon have to hook up after this and to start drawing things. We'll let the viewers decide what we're drawing.
On your opponent.
Indeed. Oh, can the viewers see this guy's army, Volound's?
Yes, he can.
Okay, it's quite an exotic build. He's got the elephants, and
yeah, elephants are generally they seem to they've cropped up in every single game we've had streamed so far, except from maybe the first one. But ever from that, it's been at least one element of Romans with elephants.
I love it. It just makes it look so much more interesting. This is a very tough army to beat when it's a full stack like this, because this guy can easily surround the other guy, well, depending on what Simon brings, of course.
The flexibility of the Roman army is generally its biggest asset, and it's definitely something that, in your last game, you suffered dearly to the ability of the Romans to move quickly.
Indeed. It was quite a nightmare, my friends. One which I do not wish to relive.
I'm sorry.
But I shall. Oh, that's fine. I'll be uploading that video.
And here we go.
All right.
Both guys are ready and armies are deployed. So, over on Diplex's side, do you want to do a breakdown of his army?
Diplex, he's moving forward with 4 armored legionnaires. Behind his legionnaire line, he has, let's see, looks like 6 units of gladiator spearmen. Oh, that's exciting. What does he have back here? Praetorian Cav, General's Bodyguard. The rest of his Cav is Praetorian. He has, I think, 6 units of Praetorian, and then he has his General's Bodyguard units. So, yeah. Should be a general brawl for Simon trying to close the distance. And
if we look at our Swedish player and his Roman army, I mean, you want to break down of that one as well?
Oh, for Volound's?
Yeah.
Let's see, what does he have? He has a full stack of army, but his army has a component that Simon does not have. He has the elephants here, which are chaotic by themselves, but used in conjunction with other troops like this could be a very crazy mix. He's gonna be hard to anticipate what he's gonna do with these elephants. And he has a lot of slingers. Volound has a lot of slingers, that is. So Simon can't just sit back. He's got to close the distance really fast, or this whole bunch of slingers, 6 of them, are going to tear up Simon's army.
They're very unprotected. I mean, obviously the cavalry engage quite quickly as soon as that cavalry starts. As soon as I say that, he throws his cavalry out there, tries to get in close to the slingers, and both wings of the cavalry start to react and move in.
Indeed. Seems to be some foreplay here. Simon's reaching for better ground here. He sees the slingers coming. He's trying to decide, what to do about all those slingers. He has nothing to combat them in terms of skirmishers.
And I'm kind of looking at it, and he has a significant amount of gladiator spearmen, and they're the kind of units that you could probably throw out there. I mean, he would lose them eventually, but they're the only ones that aren't going to get charged by the cavalry and be decisively destroyed.
Indeed, I think that was Simon's best bet, is to just run at this guy and turn his rush army into an offensive weapon.
So this is the first mirror match of the day, and we have Rome versus Rome, and we have two different armies, completely different. I mean, one is much more skirmish and cavalry heavy, while the other is very much more infantry focused, and obviously got a lot of heavy cavalry, which you would think is a lot more of a Rome's bread and butter, would be the infantry.
Indeed. Alright, looks like Simon's rushing in now.
So where do you think the decisive part of this battle is going to be? On the... Oh, I can't say on the Rome's left or right flank, because they're both Roman.
They're both Roman, my friends.
So Diplex is
I would say
on the left. That's where he's focusing the most.
Indeed, he likes this big clump of elephants and cav. I think if he neutralizes those slingers, it'll be pretty decisive. But if those slingers are left to their own devices, it's gonna be really tough for Simon. Simon being DiplexHeated.
Just watching as the armored legionnaires, absolutely lovely unit. They just look so good.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy looking at these units on your screen, anyways, because they look the way they're supposed to. My computer's crap, so I don't get to see these beautiful graphics and animations.
I like how they're very much more active when they're just standing there now, jumping up and
Indeed.
down. Well,
Indeed, some of them are complaining.
How do you think the gladiator spearmen are going to match up against the Praetorian cavalry?
It's a good bet. I mean, they'll match well against any of the cav that Rome has, and then they can also be used, as you said, to run against the slingers. So we'll see how Diplex uses them. Right now, he's charging forward with his armored legionnaires being in the center of his infantry there.
There's a good chance that a lot of these Bluric slingers are going to get caught out of position here.
It's possible, yeah.
They're not given the chance to do that, have an impact as of yet.
Yeah, definitely good battle plan by Simon to just, kind of push at this opponent.
Meanwhile, over on the far right, we have a lot of movement. There's a big block of cavalry and one elephant in the Bose general unit. And it looks like these Praetorians are not reacting at all. And they're going to get completely caught out here.
Oh no, they're just standing there. I don't think Simon was watching this. Yeah, Simon's watching his other wing.
That's always the classic thing about a Total War game. It's one wing always seems to be the most the busier, and you take your eye off both for 1 minute and your opponent just charges straight in.
It's tough, especially when you spread your armies out this wide. It's hard to keep track of everything.
What's also difficult to do is sort out which Romans are which. They're very similar.
Yeah, as Mark Anthony says in the HBO series, I don't know who's winning, I'm just going to charge in. Well, we're going to see those gladiator spearmen in action. Let's see if they take these elephants down. It's like one of Diplex's units are starting to rout. It's one of his Praetorian cav.
It seems very much that the the left is what Diplex is going for.
Yes,
and
indeed.
He knows he's lost on the right. His general is there, though, and that is something that's going to be dangerous if he doesn't get it extricated quite quickly.
Indeed. He managed to cause a rout in one of these Sakurai Equites on Diplex's main thrust here.
One of the gladiator spearmen is breaking as well, which is definitely not what he needs at this point in the battle.
Oh no, it's terrible. Simon managed to sneak his general out of there. I think he's going over to the other wing, perhaps. Or just
Meanwhile,
wants to be safety.
Balearic Slingers are just not making an impact. They're being chased down by these armored legionnaires. I mean, they're slowly... Obviously, they're not going to catch them, but they're keeping them out of doing anything significant.
That is a very good bet. Although I think you might have had it right, where he probably should have used his spearmen to do that. Maybe use his gladiator or his cohorts to enter the fight somewhere else.
Diplex's cavalry over on his left is now in a position to charge down all these Balearic Slingers.
Oh my gosh, that is a huge, massive Diplex troops right there.
It's because Vold's majority of his cavalry is still over on his left flank and hasn't repositioned at all.
Indeed. It looked pretty bleak for Simon at first, but now it's looking pretty good for him.
If he can clean up all the Balearic Slingers, he'll be in a very good position.
Indeed. Oh, looks like Voland's starting to transfer his victorious cav from his victorious wing here. So it's going to be a race to see who gets their cav over there first.
And a lot of redeployment from both sides.
Indeed. That's a good idea by Diplex. He should really consolidate his troops. Don't let them get too spread out.
He wasn't able to clean up any of the Balearic Slingers. Obviously, he's still got a unit of armoured legionnaires chasing them down. And this unit of Equites keep charging into the back of his legionnaires, stopping them from getting into a position to get back onto the hill, really, giving the rest of his army time to get closer and threaten them. I'm happy to see his general getting out of there. His general was very, very far away from the battle at one point. In fact, still might get caught here.
Indeed. Was that a Sakia unit? Yeah. He's pretty close to home if he can make it over there with his general.
He's gonna get caught in the side here.
Looks like Diplex is sending a Praetorian cav unit to rescue his general, though.
At this moment, it is key for him to keep his general alive. I mean, the cavalry advantage is very much in Vold's favour, but the heavy infantry is definitely in Diplex's. Can he keep it all together?
He's got a good, pretty positioning on this hill here.
But he doesn't have the skirmishers, so he's going to have to obfuscate it and get down there and fight.
Yeah. You would think with all this running, his troops might be a little bit tired now.
Especially
so
with all
might not
that
be
heavy
successful.
armor. They're all exhausted.
Indeed.
And here comes the elephants, the deciding factor in the cavalry engage. And there's nothing really Diplex can do to kill them. He's got no skirmishers.
Oh my gosh.
At all.
He's got a few spearmen out there. Maybe they can help turn the tide.
Yeah, spearmen are engaged in the fight with the Praetorian cavalry. And it's all coming down to successive cavalry battles. Very, very
this
un-Roman.
cat fight's a mess. Yes, indeed.
And Diplex's general is in the stages of routing almost.
Oh, that would be
wavering.
catastrophic. Yeah, with a match this even, yeah, losing the general would be pretty dynamic, I think.
And he's still got armoured legionnaires chasing the Balearic Slingers, but they're not making an impact.
Yeah.
Strength and honor.
The general is down. Diplex's general is down.
Oh no. There are some blinking units. Whose flags are those? Those are, let's see, we got Volound and Diplex. Looks like they're both starting to break.
Everyone is routing in this cluster.
I think they probably didn't know which general died. Let's see.
But
It
here
is this
comes
one
the
giant Roman brawl here.
Nothing nastier than a Roman civil war.
Indeed. And it's because the Romans are the Roman elephants are bugging out.
Yep, they've decided to go home. No, but they're dead.
Oh, farewell. So let's see. This guy still has his slingers, Volound. But with a cav on the pursuit, it could be tough. Although Volound has his own cav here. It's hard to keep track of all these Roman units.
I know. It's a very fluid matchup.
Indeed.
I mean, these Romans, this armoured legionnaire unit has got their head down. They look very depressed, but they're just exhausted.
Indeed. I think at this kind of stage, I think the slingers will be more crucial now.
Yes, but
For the most part, they have full
chased.
strength. Are they?
There's still one unit of armoured legionnaires chasing them in the rear here.
Oh, I see them.
General's about to go down. Actually, he's routing, and there's no commander on the field no more.
There is no commander. It's every Roman for himself. This is exciting. Let's see. Volound.
Diplex has kept majority of his cavalry alive, and that is going to be the most crucial part of the battle now. With the cavalry still alive, he can just chase down all these Balearic slingers.
He truly could.
I think Diplex has got this. I don't see a way he can lose this now. He's got all the infantry. The only thing Volound has now is Balearic slingers.
The slingers, oh yeah.
So the only way he can really win with these Balearic slingers is to knock out the ones that are in the worst shape and hopefully cause a successive rout. But I don't see it happening.
Indeed. Oh yeah. Yeah, this match is definitely...
And that guy
totally
has a peeler in his back. And he's
Yeah, I
still
think winning
alive.
that cav fight was huge.
It was the cav fight behind the hill. As soon as that it went in his favour. But do you know what the unit that did the damage? The one that saved him in this battle is the gladiator spearmen. They have managed to
Yeah, they actually...
win.
I was surprised by that.
They're not alive,
I was
but they
expecting
killed
the
the cavalry.
Praetorians to do. Alright.
And this is just cleanup now for Diplex. I don't see how he can lose. Saying that, his Praetorian cavalry is breaking.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's just a matter of, you know, picking up these slingers. There's still some slingers that are on the outside of this action.
Yeah, lots of them.
Indeed. It's good to see Volound still fighting the good fight, though.
Never give up. Never surrender.
Indeed. Never surrender. Hail Tim Allen.
Unless
yeah, I think these charges by Diplex is gonna carry the day.
I can't. Yeah, every single one of those Balearic slingers is being chased down. He's got no chance. He can't turn around to fire. So I think Diplex takes game one by the looks of it, unless something crazy happens.
Like a mass rout for some unexplained reason, perhaps.
No, you see this hill they're going over here. That routed unit. They're just going to find like an
yes.
entire legion. No, apparently not. I just want it to be like Spartacus style when they start coming over the hill. Legion after
yeah,
legion.
I love that. Start rolling those logs down.
Do you know they got 8,000 people from the Italian or Spanish army to do that scene?
Is that the classic one with?
Yeah. No blood on the
Douglas.
sand. They've never got more than 100 people ever.
Maybe more than 100 CGI artists, perhaps.
Yeah. I think it's just this one unit of Balearic slingers left here. I don't really know what they're going to be able to do here.
Oh yeah, they're pretty much toast here. That was exciting. I can't wait to see what Volound does in the next match.
He needs a response, and I don't think he won the battle on. He won the cavalry battle he went for. The his one on his right just didn't go his way, but it still looked like he was in control the whole time.
It really did, yeah. And with that slinger advantage, I was expecting him to, to pull a win with his slingers.
The slingers were tied down a hell of a lot by the armored legionnaires. They were constantly being chased.
Indeed, very, very good battle plan. by Diplex.
This could take a while, as he tried to chase him down.
Yeah. They are still fighting the good fight. They are going to stand their ground back here. We'll see what happens.
One unit is, yeah. I think he just forgot about that one.
Understood.
Yeah. Well, they're gone. Oh, one of them's still fighting.
That's the one who's been chased by the most. The only thing
I gotta say, that was an exciting battle.
Yeah, no,
sorry?
I really, I thought it was almost a foregone conclusion at one point, and then it just, Diplex was able to just, he just wrestled control and took back the game. And
It was crazy, yeah.
I think it was the gladiator, the spearman, the gladiator spearman. How can I not say gladiator? Oh my god. Those guys, the guys I'm pointing at.
Call them the Glads.
Spartacus' hand-picked men.
Yes. I mean, yeah. Initially, Diplex started with that micro mistake when he wasn't paying attention to his cav. But yeah, the wing he was watching was very successful, and that managed to ultimately win the battle.
So I must admit, I am enjoying Rome versus Rome because it is a very, very quick and always in the balance, and that's brilliant.
That was good. I'm so glad they, they both bought, diverse troops. Like one brought gladiators, the other brought elephants. It just made it so much more exciting to look at.